Well, good evening, everybody. Um, Today was the day I finally did it. You know, um, yesterday was the day where I finally had enough. Um, my my work ethic, so to speak, because I want to do good. I want to perform well. You know what I mean? So when it comes to actually doing my job, I want to do it correctly. I want to do it professionally, and I take pride in that. Even though it's at a place that doesn't care about their employees. We're all replaceable. We're all cogs. You know. Hey, buddy. This is Odie. For those of you that haven't seen him, here, bud. Come on. He wants to cuddle. He wants to get under the blankets. See, he's a big baby. So anyway, I was very generous and I did it as gracefully as I tried, as I did. There's no profanity. Of course, my resignation letter that I gave them a month, way more than is required. I also said I wasn't leaving with any grievances and anything like that. But and I enjoyed the time working there, which I did. I do. I enjoy the memories I have for the most part, and I enjoy the people. That's literally the only reason why I haven't left as soon as I did. I think, and I was foolish enough to believe that this year would be a little bit different. That this year, that with me being as foot forward with the issues at hand, with the responsibility of the department, with all the problems that come with the jobs and being a supervisor. I saw the results of this year, of the season, since basically the end of winter. So summer's over up here already. We're already getting temperatures in 40s and 50s. We don't have summer anymore. But this is the worst year that we've done, despite the best efforts that I've had, despite my very on hands approach for things. And they're going to blame somebody for it. And the blame always goes downhill. And what's going to be done, I already know, we all know how corporations work. What's going to be done is they're going to find the lowest person, which unfortunately in this case is me. And they're going to hold that person responsible for everything that happened. And I agree that people need to be responsible, that someone needs to be held accountable. But where I draw the line is where the wrong people get held accountable, especially on issues they cannot control. Like, here's some examples of issues that we are held liable for. So, me, um, the condition of our product, which would be plants of all kinds. This year has been awful with that. There's nothing I can do when it comes to the plants coming in the way they do. If they come in looking like crap, if they come in infested, if they come in subpar, that is instant profit loss. That is instant loss, because we are not allowed to refuse a shipment, to refuse to take anything. And we only have a 48-hour window to challenge it. And they like to send these and delay it for 3 days. After that window, you know what I mean? You can't. It's ridiculous. It's a total scheme. It's a total setup. Well, I had enough. When I saw that I had wasted, and the last year that I had put myself through all this stress, all this frustration, taking this crap home, to my home, to my wife, you know, stressing her out as a by proxy just because I'm stressed. Um, yeah, it was very disappointing, and I spent more time there than I have with my wife the entire time we've known each other, you know, and that includes before I moved up here and got that job. When I took the job in 2022, um, I was paid my wage with the years of experience that I had and my past were worth working with plants, farming, you know, agriculture. I was into all that stuff, and you know, I paid attention. Well, they offered me a mean $13 an hour, and that came with the experience I had, and I was the most qualified person there. That's why I got the offer, and I said that honestly, anything's okay right now, but that ain't staying the way it is. I hope you know that. And I only took it because I had just moved. I needed to stop the bleeding of money, so to speak. So I ended up working a second job, which was also there. It was, but for a different company. I worked the cleaning services as well. So I was the guy that was operating all the cleaning machines and cleaning the floors, the trash. So I would show up, and I was there. I would show up before everyone else. So I would get there as soon as anybody with keys got there, which was four. Yeah, it was really early. It was 3, sometimes 4 o'clock, and I would stay there 13, 14 hours every day, 5 days a week. It was weighing on me, and I did that for about 6 months, and there was the stress of, and then just the fatigue, which I have now, fatigue and the bitterness, because the whole time I'm there, I'm working with people that do way less than me and they're getting paid better. And they, you know, it's not their fault, that the system's broken. So I challenged it. I told them that I can't keep doing this. If I wasn't working the second job, I couldn't afford to work here. My second job, cleaning toilets, cleaning the floor, paid better than my primary one. In my primary one, I operated forklifts. I operated all sorts of machinery. I handled all sorts of issues. I built things. I did all this stuff for 13 an hour. So they bumped it up to $15.50 an hour. And that gave me just enough to not have to do that second job at the time. And that was a crappy deal. It was very one-sided, of course, in the best interest of the corporation, of the company. But I took it just because I couldn't do it anymore, because I couldn't spend my entire day there. I couldn't do that and walk my dog and have a healthy lifestyle with exercise, in the evening or early in the morning. That's when I was doing it. I would get up, like I was getting 3 hours of sleep a day doing this. That for 6 months. Because I'd have to get up early to go to the gym. I'd run my mile. I'd lift my weights. I'd come home. I would have my meal, and then I'd go. But yeah, I just couldn't do it anyway. So long story short, I resigned from that other job. Just my better paying one. I should have stuck with that one, honestly. Now, since then, two people that I worked with, really close friends to this day still, they left. One of them left because they kept cutting his hours. They kept screwing over their employees, the bottom line, while giving themselves tens of millions of dollars in bonuses. It's always the people that have the least to gain that lose the most, you know. And then my other dear friend, the same thing that's happening to me is what happened to them. They're being blamed for things beyond their control, things outside of any sphere of influence that any particular way. There's literally no way I can control that stuff because I'm not corporate. I'm not them. I don't make those decisions, but I'm being held accountable for them because of the losses. They're angry. It's never going to be them that's held accountable because they're making all this big money and they can cause a big ruckus when they're challenged, so to speak. See what I mean? So they go after those that cannot defend themselves, that cannot fight back, in any meaningful way. So the only thing that I've done, and I'm glad I have done this, 'cause I've always been this way, but the only thing that's covered my ass, so to speak, as long as has been my communication, my emails. I have paper trails. So when they complain about things, boom, I have already talked about it weeks in advance, and it still has not been addressed. Like I've been asking for product since June. Because we have nothing. We lost. Our plants were infested. They couldn't. I couldn't refuse them, but I can't sell them because the infestation would spread. You can't control it once it's outside of a certain amount. When it's a whole shipment, and that's happened several times this year. Instant losses. But anyway, that communicating, I've been asking for shipments since June. I wanted it there before the 4th because I didn't have much to sell. Still waiting on it. They're asking me why our selection's so poor, why we don't have perennials, why our tables are so empty, and all I have to do is forward that email that I sent a whole month in advance saying, this is why, because you're incompetent, because you don't read your emails on your end. And I send it to several people, and I tag everybody in it. And it's amazing that only a few people see it. These are all supervisors in corporate. These are all mid-level management. None of them communicate. They're all equally useless. I was so frustrated to the point where I was literally yelling, and I said, in nicer words, I wasn't swearing at this point. I wasn't necessarily yelling. It's a figure of speech, but I was very loudly griping, where I said, can you just cut out all the useless middle-level management and just tell me who I actually need to talk to so we can actually get something changed here? They didn't like that, and I was told that I needed to calm down. They didn't like my attitude because I am passionate about my job. Yeah, well, I decided that I had enough. I can only take so much. People can only take so much, and it's scary. The uncertainty, the loss of total all income on my end. As a husband, it's very demeaning. It hurts. It hurts to knowingly put that stress on the person I'm supposed to support, that I'm supposed to care for. But she's understanding. She's actually the one that has been encouraging me to leave the most. She said that over a year now. It's been a long time she's been wanting me to leave, and I'm finally doing it. I've had enough. You can only push people so much before something breaks, and I'm going to just remove myself from the equation. They're not going to use me as a scapegoat anymore. They're not going to do that. They can find another sucker. And there always is. because we're taught these days that this is normal. We're taught these days that we can't get ahead in life unless we get a 9 to 5 job, unless we can't be stable, unless we have a Norm, good old boy, basic, wake up in the morning, suck down your coffee, rush to the job that doesn't give a damn about you, do meaningless work, tell you that it's essential for the survival of the company, that you matter, and you do matter, but not because of that. Today and yesterday, but even more so today, because I've been talking with people since then, because our reporting, it's so dysfunctional that our reporting isn't the same. My end shows extreme losses. Others say that we're doing well. So I get both sides of that. I get conflicting information. Everyone's griping with each other, and the people that need to hear it don't hear it. And if we're tricked into thinking this way subliminally, subconsciously, then companies like that aren't going to last much longer. Like, there's always going to be this problem. There always will be. But when it comes to merit, they're not going to ever have enough quality, hardworking, caring people if they don't show that they're valued, so to speak. And I know it sounds a little harsh saying it like that, but let's face it, we all know that there's a few people that hold a business together. There's a few people that actually do the work. There's not most of fellow employees are filler, so to speak. They're just bodies. And I'm not even mad about that. I'm not, because they've got it kind of figured out. Why would they work hard if they're not valued or appreciated? So this message, it's not meant to be about me in particular, but it's meant to be a example of how things are. It's rough. The future's uncertain for me. It's uncertain. I don't know if I'll ever do another retail job again because of this. Honestly, I've wasted 10 years of my life. The last 3.5 years have been especially wasted, where my wife and I haven't hardly seen each other. A good portion of that we're frustrated because of finances, or we're too tired to talk to each other, or one of us is, or you know what I mean? It's just not normal. And we need to do what's best for us. And I know I'm a man, but men have feelings too. Men, I genuinely want to be around my wife. I genuinely want to be around my friends. I want to have time. I'm going to have all the time in the world now, at least for a while, to do what I want to do, to test, to make plan, to search for my own path. And sometimes, unfortunately, even though I don't have another thing lined up, it needs to happen the way it is. Because any more time, and it's only what, days, a week before I have an extreme blowout. This morning I didn't upload the video. There was that much profanity in it. I was screaming in my vehicle. I was screaming in my truck, my rust bucket. Just, why do we let our jobs control so much of us, so much of our of our time, of our life. That's stuff we're never going to get back. Time. You're not going to get it back. Energy vampires. They're all that. They're all time bandits. Every job posting out there, they want maximum labor for the minimum value. It's not even a living wage anymore. I'm leaving with not even 20. With 3.5 years, 10 years of experience. Don't even have $20. Never seen that before. I have never had a job for more than $20 an hour. And it's called meaningless, useless, skillless labor. But driving a forklift is not skillless. Tracking shipments is not skillless. Managing a crew is not skillless. Dealing with the stress of all of the issues that you need to solve on the spot is not skillless. These are things that are very valuable that they don't want to pay for, that's taken for granted. Not just my job, but just the jobs these days in general, man. But anyway, I'm gonna go to bed because I'm just exhausted. I wanted to put a video out today, so forgive me for sounding as tired as I am. As I am, you know. And I'm gonna upload late today. Hopefully it goes through. I'm glad that I'm doing this right now because I'm much calmer than I was than when I wanted to, and when I had it recorded and everything. But my message today for all of you, the few people that watch my videos, is enough is enough. It's up to you to decide when enough is enough. Not your employer, not your friend, not your parents or your spouse. It's you. So forgive me if this killed your mood or had any negative impact on you. That's not the intent, nor was it the intent to vent. I'm much more relaxed, calm now, but enough is enough. If you want change, you have to break free of the cycle, that wheel. Break yourself off. Step 1, recognize it's the matrix. Recognize the scam. Step 2, plan as best you can. Set enough aside to where you won't utterly fail and be immediately homeless. Step 3, break yourself off. Step 4 is the one I'm going to figure out. I'm muddling through. Remember that video? Muddling through is part of life. So I hope you all have a good rest of your evening. Hope you all sleep well. Hope you have a good weekend. I have to show my value and honor my word by actually continue showing up on these weekends, at least for another month. So until next time, hopefully the next video will be about something more important, about something more happy, more useful. So I'll see y'all later. Thank you.